From the mind of El Rico Studios. It's the top 1%. Four friends from Escambia High School to Pensacola, Florida, give their takes on family, relationships, sports, entertainment, and business. Your host, CEO, director, writer, producer, El Rico Tunstall, along with business and marketing expert Alex Ennis. We got rap artist and actor Crook, aka Austin B, as well as cool, never the fool, Mr. Pay the Man himself, that boy there, LG. It's the top 1%.
Welcome into the top 1%. We are back.
Once again.
Yes, welcome back to the island of relevancy, where we talk topics, where we talk relationships, where we talk life in general. It's about some friends who grew up from Escambia High School, but decided, you know what, let's do a podcast and let the world know what we're talking about in our little side chat groups. But today we got some special guests on with us. It's the EVPs, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies.
Yes, and you know what? We are excited to have you all here because it's the wives. And when the wives come on, the truth has to be said. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be talking truth. And of course, you know, it would be only right. My lady, go ahead. Tell the world who you are.
I am Eugenia, and of course, I am Rico's wife.
Eugenia, if you don't mind, your favorite female R&B vocalist, who was that?
That's going to be Whitney Houston, and that's going to also be Fantasia.
Okay, it's a tie. It's a tie. So if you had one wish, shout out to Ray J. If you had one wish and you could only see one in concert, who would you like to see?
Well, I think it's only one that I could out of those.
Trick question. She got it.
Be Fantasia.
Oh man, trick question. She got. She's so smart and beautiful. Yes, Michelle. What's going on?
Whoa.
I got you.
Unbelievable.
Her name is Michelle.
That was so sexy, baby. That was so sexy.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
He had to save himself from another episode, so he had to, you know.
Yes, that's why the sirens were going off in the background, because you know he's still trying to get out. He's still trying to get out. Yeah. But back to his number one lady in his life, Michelle. Go ahead.
All right, Michelle or Michelle, CT's wife.
Tell us a little bit about your background, you know, the MBAs and all everything else you got going on.
Well, first, I met him in a club. I have a bachelor's degree in organizational leadership and a master's degree, general business MBA.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. The original MBA is on the show. Now, I do have to ask, I mean, between you and Alex, do you ever just kind of like rub it in his face that you got it first, or is it snarl like, look at, yeah, you know what it is?
No, you know what? I was so proud of him when he decided that. He said, you know, if you can do it, I think I can do it. And he went and he got his. So I'm always rooting for him. But now I'm thinking about going to get my DBA. He's going back to get a second bachelor's, and I'm thinking about going to my DBA.
Okay.
Oh
okay.
man.
Okay. Let me show some love real quick. Let me show some love to my lady real quick. Now I know you're in school, you're doing your thing in school. There we go. There we go. You have an amazing blog that's out right now that is doing major traction. You have a store that just went up across sites. Give us a little insight on that.
Yeah, so I have a website, Intentional Healing Moment. So that's where I do blogs about trauma healing and a journey with that. And then also I have a healing products store included in that, as well as a different eBay store that's all connected on my social media platforms.
Okay, and what is that site, just for our listeners?
It is Eugenia store for that. And then Intentional Healing Moments has intentional shopping connected into that one. So that one is on its own. And then you have the Eugenia store with eBay.
Okay. I'm very, very proud of my wife, man. She is definitely doing her thing. You know, we always brag on wives on every episode. So
I always gotta say this, man. You're my muse and my project in helping me get that MBA. Okay,
my brother. Thank
you. But not just that. He always talk about this. He also has a business degree.
Oh wow! I didn't think anybody was gonna bring it up. Well, since we're here,
give yourself a shout out, man.
Oh yeah. What's my applause?
Come on, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Valedictorian, Virginia College, you know, Gator commencement speech. It was amazing. A lot of loved ones there. Yeah, an amazing. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I was just low key. I'm like LG. I'm just low key. Speaking of low key, Jeezy. who they want.
Man, I'm finna tell y'all what it is now. I hear what y'all did and everything, and it sounds amazing. I got NBA, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a basketball card, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I got an NBC, the channel, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna run with it. You feel me? I've been to Bethune-Cookman, just through the parking lot real quick, but
Okay.
it's all right. I went everywhere. I watched PBS, everything. I don't know. Y'all just kept saying stuff that got letters to it, and it was 3. I was like, yep, I got a DOG. You feel me? My dog job. You feel me? Like, I don't know what it is. A CAT. I see them all the time when they ride around.
Life and applied experience is just as vital and just as important, and in a lot of cases, even more important than at all, any kind of degree that you have. Some of the biggest entrepreneurs out there don't have any degrees out there. So it's great to have that degree, but it's not. But if you don't know how to apply it to where it is, it's really irrelevant.
Then again, like I'm from Florida, so the only degree I know is the temperature, and it be hot. I be like, dang, they said it was gonna be 80 degrees, but it feel like 93. You can't tell me it's 80 degrees and it feels like 93. It's 93. Don't fake me with that.
We enjoy talking so much offline. It's always an honor to be online with such, beautiful company tonight. And we always talk about different things amongst ourselves. And some of the things we talk about, are the opposite sex. Okay, we're going to keep it a buck. We need to address what's the most intimate, non-sexual thing a partner can do in a relationship. Like, what are some things that your partner can do for you that doesn't require anything physical? What are some things? For me, of course, I got to say the ability to understand and listen to my erratic, crazy, controlling, just behavior, to me is your biggest turn on, because there's not a lot of people that can deal with my personality. And at the end of the day, to me, that's sexy. But what are some things for you guys? You might go a little bit deeper, and I think that the guru of that, we got to start with G, man, because he knows.
G's playing this.
Y'all don't want me to explain
what's the most intimate non-sexual thing a partner can do?
Because that's like, I don't think no one figured that out. What's the most thing? All you gotta do is just respect. You gotta be loyal, you gotta respect, and I gotta be able to trust you. Otherwise, everything else is intimate. I don't know what you could do. It's all of it at the same time. I'm talking about people got to figure it out, and I ain't figured it out yet. That's why I'm by myself. But guess what? I'm finna listen to y'all, and I'm finna figure it out after that, and then come right back to me after y'all tell me what it is.
It's a couple of things. Emotional intelligence is very, very sexual for me. It doesn't have to be anything physical to just really understand. Also, I would say
credit score.
A great relationship, personal relationship with God. Having a Christian background and loving Jesus, that's a great thing. I would say being able to have an argument but not carry it on. So to be able to break that down, get back into united, that's
intelligence.
With Michelle, one of the things that is like the most attractive thing about her to me is her ability to understand my ramblings. Okay, everybody knows that I stutter. Everybody knows that I'm random, and I'm a scatterbrain at times because there's so many thoughts going in my mind. And my wife is the queen of explaining me to other people who cannot understand what I'm trying to say. And also, Michelle was a person that really helped me get that degree, in the sense that she would help me understand what I'm doing. So she was always like the queen of explaining things to me in a way that I could comprehend it. So having that ability to communicate what I'm saying to other people who don't know me is something that I've always found captivating and attractive. But the other thing that I would say is cooking for me. Okay?
That's what it is.
Let me get you your own box on that, brother. Hold up. Yo, can you say again?
Please do. Bring it in. Bring it in. So, ladies, learn how to cook. Okay? If you don't know how to cook, if you have a recipe book, follow the instructions. Okay? It doesn't have to be anything gourmet. Hear me out. It does not have to be anything gourmet. Okay? Effort. Effort. Okay? If you don't know how to cook, if you just make the effort, I find that attractive. And a lot of men do too.
Hey, I'm gonna get canceled. You can do effort all you want, but you better figure it out in the end. Because if you can't microwave something, if you can't cook nothing, when you got Uber Eats on the back porch, you just tell them to leave it there, and then y'all eating after she cooked. That's rough. Like, how you gonna eat after a restaurant? How you gonna eat after anything? Give the effort, but if you can't, don't do it.
The thing with me, at least, is that effort is so important. Effort means that you give thought. It shows me that you care about me and you care about that person to show that you're willing to do something. So so it's not always about how the food comes out. It ain't. It's about the effort. So
it just has to be edible.
So 2 things for me. The first one is caring for my parents like they're your own. Both Alex and I, we lost our moms in 2017 and 2018, and they both needed help there towards the end. And Alex took such incredible care of my mom constantly, and I tried my best with his mom. And then last week, my dad was in a pretty bad accident, and this week I had to go out of town for work, and Alex literally took care of him every single day by himself, made sure that he was redressing his wounds, made sure he was on top of his medicine around the clock. And to me, just having somebody who cares so much, you know, for my parents, knowing that these are the people who mean so much to me, is incredibly attractive. And saving me from myself. I know that I am a very type A person. It's not that I'm controlling, because I'm not controlling in the slightest bit, but I'm just so type A that I feel like I have to know, Alex, mira, cállate la boca. Okay, I see your face.
Unbelievable.
She's not controlling.
No, listen, I'm not controlling, but I have to have control of the situation.
That makes sense.
I get so consumed with work, with the kids, with the house, and then I just kind of start spiraling, and then I will get massively grumpy. It's kind of like when Tweety Bird would bump their head and they'd have all the stars going around in circles. I feel like there's all these stars going around in circles, and Alex can identify that. And listen, ADHD is a mofo, okay? And Alex will see me starting to spiral, and then it never fails. He stops and he's like, you go sit down. The kids are taken care of. He cooks dinner. He'll bring me my food. He will clean up everything to the best of his ability. He tries, you know, he'll do the laundry. He'll make sure that our son is taken care of. Like, he will literally run all the errands and do everything. So that way I can sit down and just kind of shut my brain down. And the fact that he can identify that I'm not just in a bad mood, I'm overstimulated. It's not that he's putting on my shoulders. I literally am putting it on. I know that. But the fact that he's like, no, I'm the man. I am your man, and you're my partner. And I'm going to come and lift this off of your shoulders, and I'm going to hold on to this while you heal, is one of my absolute, he's my hero, because of one of my favorite things about him, that he knows how to save me from myself. I'm so glad I can cook.
Oh, y'all lay it down. Don't get me wrong. Queso pie. Shoot, I go to y'all house, I'm eating real good. I'm like, what?
So there will be some women that will be like, well, that's just not my thing. And that's not what I want to do. So I do want to speak to them, because there are men that are out there that love to cook, that actually wants to do those things. So the woman does not have to, and that takes care of people meeting the people that's for them. So where you lack, someone can take care of that.
Yeah.
So there's men that like catering to women and they like cooking, so they don't have to worry about that. So women, it's okay.
It's so sexy when somebody cares enough to take care of you. That's the true point. He's not saying that, oh, you know, I want to be with somebody who knows how to cook. I want to be with somebody who will take care of me, who will care for me. If I am sick, they will make me some chicken noodle soup, even if it's a can of Campbell's chicken noodle soup. They will,
romaine noodles,
or they can order it, or
they will order it from
you have it.
Yes. Yes.
However that works. Well, nobody to be left out.
It's just more about being considerate of your partner.
Right.
Whether that is loving their parents as much as you love your parents, or seeing those cues where, you know, Michelle might be overwhelmed, having that kind of unspoken connection that, hey, I need to grab her before she grabs my son and hurts him. There was a time that, you know, Serenity was acting up, and, you know, we do believe in disciplining our kids. So she was acting up and Michelle was upset. So she grabbed a shoe of hers, but it was a high heeled shoe.
It was a thick flip flop.
Whatever it was, it was a high. It would have caused damage on her. Okay, so I had to quietly grab my wife's hand and switch it to a flip flop, a hanger, a.
Wait, then he told
you can still do it. Just
So discipline her, but we don't need criminal charges.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So with Junior, I'm way harder on Junior than it was with Serenity. It's just facts. So where I'm like, oh, my baby, my princess. With Junior, I'm like, boy, get over here, grab his ears, smack him around. That's what I do with Junior. You know what I'm saying? But and Michelle says, hey, chill out with him. You can't deal with him in that way. It's not really good for him. Us being men and having boys, we want to instill a level of toughness in our boys, right? But sometimes, you know, we do and can take it over the top.
Yes,
I know I have. I know I have, because I'm not perfect parent. But and having my wife seeing what I'm trying to do, but also saying, hey, let's reel back, calm down, relax.
What's the definition then, Alex, of good cop, bad cop? Because to me, you need that parent that's going to be not lax or, you know, easy, but then you need that stern parent. Both parents can't be stern, in my opinion. You got to have one that's a little lax.
After the flip flop situation, by the way, flip flop was like 4 inches thick.
That was not a flip flop.
It was
a wedge. It was a wedge. It was wedge. I remember it.
She has successfully graduated to adulthood. She's alive. She is amazing.
There you go.
Going through her senior year of college, she is an amazing. So disciplining is okay.
There you go.
Yes, Dean's List. We did good, but after that event, after that situation, Alex and I, we made a decision, and we said that we would never discipline the kids if we were mad. Because when you're mad, you do not make clear decisions. You are reacting out of anger and frustration rather than disciplining your child. And to me, that turns into abuse.
That's
that is how we determine who is good cop and who is bad cop. The one who is mad is the one that has to step away, because that's obviously the person that's not thinking clearly. And the other person has to then step in and be stern. So with us, there's not necessarily a good cop, bad cop. There is I cannot parent you right now because I'm upset with you, or I can parent you and I'm able to rationally explain to you where you went wrong, what you need to do differently, and then figure out what you're going to do to make it better. And we've always done that with our kids, and we are quick to call each other out. If I start seeing Alex getting upset, then I'll tell him, Alex, you need to go step outside. You're getting too upset. You're getting carried away, and he'll step away. And same vice versa. You know, he'll be quick to tell me, I think you need to step away. So with us, there's not a good cop, bad cop. It's just who can be a parent in this moment.
We have those conversations and we're still on one accord when we know that our kid is in the wrong. Even if we both have a disagreement as to what we do, they don't see that. They see the same message. It might be delivered differently, but it's the same message. So messaging is important. It has to be the same message, even if the delivery is different. So,
and we're quick to tell each other, I don't like that you did this, or I don't like that you said this.
Not in front of the kids.
Just not in front
never, ever in front of the kids, because then that shows the kids that, there's that crack.
It's dysfunction.
Exactly. So never in front of the kids.
In any relationship, when you start functioning out of your emotion, then that allows you to take things in an irrational state. You're not thinking clearly. So, and that's the same thing as it's not healthy to, even when you're disciplining kids, I would say whooping them. It's not best to do that while you are angry or in your emotions deeply, because you are taking out everything else that possibly could have happened throughout the rest of the day, earlier day. You're taking it out on that situation because you've reached a boiling point. So it's best not to even argument. It's like, hey, I'm getting to a point where I'm at my peak. I might not want to finish this argument right now. However, we're going to circle back, and then we can go ahead and do that when I'm able to think clearly, but being highly emotional, then that's not going to be beneficial.
But I think that's so healthy, though, telling your children, you know what, right now I'm so upset with you, I cannot talk to you, because it shows them emotional regulation, because so many kids today don't know emotional regulation, and they don't know how to control their feelings or how to say, okay, it's okay that I'm upset and I'm going to walk away, because their initial thought is, it's not okay. I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to get into a fight. And it's because they don't understand it's okay for me to be upset. I'm going to walk away and I'm going to come back.
Yeah. And that helps them communicate well with others. And it also shows them how to communicate their feelings.
G? Oh, I learned to put people on mute. Like always, just like a phone. Shoot, new technology, new mind. I just be seeing mouths moving and they ain't saying nothing. It's like, they ain't saying nothing because I done muted that. It's over with, because I ain't in no relationship until we even make it to that point. And to make it to that point, we got to collide in the right way. You feel me? Puzzle piece. We got to make things go easy. And then when you wake up and you see that person, the first thing you should do is smile. If you ain't smiling right away and you worry about some other stuff, you need to get on your way. Because, hey, I'm going to change the locks. I'm telling you, it's over with.
I can say, for me personally, when you are in I call it the heat of battle, okay, the heat of battle, and your kid, say, they're playing football in the house, and they throw a football through your 70-inch flat screen TV that you just got, to have the superpower to be able to not in the moment react is something that I was not born with. It took time, because I love my children. Rico and Mariah were the two, that got a chance to feel me in my early days. At my older age now, I take the Michelle and, Michelle and CT approach now, with Gina. I'm a little different. But back in the day, I was on the spot correction. Like, if you took and did something jacked up, you out there in the yard and you doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, I'm catching you, pulling you up. Hey, come here. And I'm finna go, and I'm not whooping, but I'm like, you're going to know and hear my fatherly voice when I tell you something. Because my kid's at the point where I look at him. And I think CT does that a lot with Junior, where he goes, boy, he does like that. And he jumps. And I think that's where that man presence kind of comes in at, because really, in reality, man, men are really they're usually like the bad cops, because they have that man dominance, especially when dealing with a young man or a boy, where we're going to be a little more firm. Like, I get the whole action of, okay, yeah, let me just step away for a second. Let me breathe. Let me just think about it. Let me cook dinner. And after that, we'll tuck you in, and then I'm going to get you. As a man, I'm just like, nah, bro, you messed up. Come here, let me just holler at you real quick, player. That's me. That's me. But like I said, I've grown. My superpower has come in, because King is in a whole new generation now. I'm an older father. So, and even Malachi, Like it ain't so much of if Malachi forgets to pull the trash cans out, where like I did with Rico, and why you put them doggone trash can? You know it's Tuesday. Now it's like, hey Malachi, you forgot the trash cans, man.
The thing with me, especially with Junior, is that there's always a stigma related to having a boy versus having a girl. That you do have to be firmer with your boy. If you're a man. The one thing I never stop doing is telling my son I love him. I tell him repeatedly.
If this boy throw a baseball through y'all front window and crack and bust out the glass, you're not being say I love you.
So first and foremost, here's the thing: Junior knows better. So I don't have to ever worry about that, and knowing Junior, that he's not very active in sports.
Well, I think early on we enforced boundaries so much that it was like balls don't get thrown in the house. You don't throw things in the house at all, right? And so they learn from those repercussions from those actions that we don't necessarily have a lot of those issues right now. When
he first did it though, but when he first did it and they threw a ball and you had to correct them, how was that tone versus now? That's what I'm saying. Like that initial,
it would have been different because he was so much younger. Let's go to something else. Okay, we'll tell a story, and Serenity's gonna choke us.
Only 75 people are watching this.
partners, Alex. So let me set the scene. Okay, Alex and I are asleep in bed, and Serenity comes into the room and she says, Mom, Dad, I fell off of the bed and I bumped my head and I think I have a concussion because I can see myself. Okay, so we were like, okay, so then just go ahead and lay down next to us. And long story short, what ended up ensuing was a hilarious night because our daughter and her cousin and her best friend had decided to go on the roof and smoke weed. And she did not have a concussion. She actually was super high. Okay. Now there, I think, is a realistic situation. My initial I was cussing all of them out. I mean, I was ready to beat their brakes off.
Thank you.
We had to go again to the rule of who is more angry and who is not. And Alex said, Michelle, go. I ended up having to step downstairs. I made myself something to drink while Alex put Serenity in the shower and rinsed her off.
The reason that she needed to get rinsed off, I hope she watches this.
I think you should say that.
She's a part of the 75 people that's watching right now.
I would love to have popcorn.
Whatever interesting reason, because she was in such state, she thought that that she was on fire. So she actually put her foot in the toilet while I'm using the bathroom. Okay. So just envision that. I'm in front of the toilet, doing my number one. Serenity's running around our bedroom
on fire.
And then she because she thinks she's on fire, runs to the bathroom while I'm there. And she says, I'm burning. And she puts her foot while I'm you
just made it awkward. Wow. But she went and jumped in the shower, and so she fully clothed.
Yeah, so I had kind of calm. So I had to kind of grab her and kind of.
Alex tells her best friend and her cousin, you know what? We can't talk right now because all of y'all. He's like, you can't even keep your eyes closed. Y'all go to bed. We're gonna talk about it in the morning. And then he made sure he kept an eye on Serenity. Neither one of us had ever done weed before, so we didn't know what came out. I called my brother and I called my aunt.
He has multiple brothers, so we don't know which one.
This is true. This is true. Yes, correct. But I called the people in our life that we knew would have experience to help to guide us and to tell us what it was. Now, the next day, I calmed down. So I had my cousin outside with a pair of tweezers picking up leaves out of the yard. And I had the girls on the floor with tweezers picking up things on the floor and cleaning the baseboards. Yes.
Your father was in the military. Your father was in the military.
Oh, yeah. You know my dad was in the military.
Tell.
But that's the importance of having a village, though, as well, that you can lean on other people and figure out what's going on. But also, I think that it talks to your wisdom and maturity, because when I was younger and my son was younger, how I disciplined him then versus how I discipline him now is totally different, because I'm wiser now and I don't look at and view things the same way. So I think it has to deal with that, because if you threw something through TV, like you were just saying, cool, we can definitely have a problem. But
I spent my money on that TV.
Oh, baby, please. We have an issue.
If a kid throw a ball through my window, they get dropped off on the highway. They gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I gotta figure it out. You gonna figure it out too. But y'all made me think, sometimes you gotta let little stuff go.
Yeah.
Cause hey, you gonna be on the highway. I'm gonna drop you off like a puppy in the park. You feel me? Yeah, too yet. Like, you ain't mine. I don't know you. Who is you? I'm gonna act like they're 30 years old. Like, man, get out. Yeah, $2. What you talking about?
The beautiful part about getting old is just getting wiser.
Wisdom, yep.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all.
I love it. Well, it's our favorite time of the show. It's time for us to do it one more time.
What time is it?
It's the lightning round.
What time is it?
It's the lightning round.
See, I can't do it like
It's the lightning round.
All right, man, let's get into it. Our top 4. Okay, this is going to be the Mount Rico Moore, but you guys is Mount Rushmore of your 4 favorite things. Okay, don't have to be in any particular order. It could be maybe your best to your worst or whatever. But of course, I always have to go first. The top 4 television couples of all time. Since we got couples on the show and we got a relationship couples expert on here, we're going to talk about our favorite television couples of all time. And as always, I have to go first to give you guys a little time to think, all right? Because I can see everybody's faces like, who can I think of outside of Bill Cosby? All right, so here we go. Coming in, all right, on my Mount Rico Moore is one of my favorite couples of all time because they made up to break up to break up to make up. And that is Zach and Kelly of Saved by the Bell. When I tell you I grew up with that couple, and that relationship was just all over the place, but I enjoyed every single minute of it. Next is going to be someone a little bit newer. I really love a show called Modern Family, and Claire and Phil Dunphy from Modern Family are so very cute just to watch. He's like a bumbling idiot, and she's just like the frantic wife who, tries to keep it all together, and he wants to be a magician. So I really love Claire and Phil Dunphy. Next on the list is going to be a throwback. Outside of Alex being the oldest person on here, the rest of y'all youngsters might not know this. Y'all might not know this one.
April
but back
18th.
In the day, April 18th, I'll catch up with you. But until then, but back in the day, we all aspired to be George and Wheezy because it was all about a man making it and his woman having his back, and they moving up to an apartment on the east side and living their life. And it was such a dream to say, man, one day that could be me. So George and Wheezy from the Jeffersons. And last but not least, because I think y'all ready for some y'all answers now, we're going to go current. Dre and Rainbow from a hit show called Blackish. Okay, Anthony Anderson, one of his best roles that he's ever played. I know people say Barbershop was great and a couple of things he's done, but Blackish is one of my favorite shows. Dre and Rainbow are the current relationship goals that people are looking for in today's marriages. So shout out to them, Blackish. That is my Mount Rico Moore. Now we shall hear from the esteemed panel, starting with, of course, the OG, LG.
No, y'all don't want to know my favorite couple. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a couple of fools. I need you to be the one arguing with your chick. Because if you're the one arguing with your chick, she ain't going to argue with nobody else. So go and get that out of the way. And then boom, a couple of fools is my favorite pick. I have to say that.
Yes, sir. All right. TT.
All right. So, favorite TV couples of all time. Let's go with Marge and Homer Simpson.
Okay.
Marge and Homer. Okay. Yes. Shut up. Yes. Al and Peggy Bundy, married with children.
They were such good role models, right? Michelle does not resemble Peggy Bundy at all.
Next. This couple, wonderful, and love their spinoff. Corey and Topanga.
I was gonna say that.
That was a long time ago.
Man, Boy Meets World, man. That was like one of my favorite shows. So them two,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Love that.
Okay.
And Claire Huxtable, The Cosby Show. So that's it for me.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good.
CT, his favorite TV show is Married with Children. Alan
Yes.
Thicke. Yep.
Mhm.
He has every single episode on DVD.
DVD. What's that?
I know. It's an ancient relic.
Yeah. What can you say that?
The best wife in the world got me the whole DVD set.
Can I
Married
download
with
it?
Children.
I dug through a discount bin for like 4 hours
Oh my goodness.
to find
Wow.
every.
This is why I love this woman.
Wow.
But Alan Peggy, but it's because even though they didn't make any sense, they loved each other. You could not mess with either one of them. They would go tooth and nail, and they understood and respected each other.
Good.
So loved Alan Peggy, Lucy and Ricky from I Love Lucy.
Throwback. It's a throwback. Okay.
Hey, Lucy, I'm home.
Damn. Florida and
Yep.
And James. Yep.
Good time.
I'll give you
And
that.
then because this is only because he reminds me of Alex so very much. But Peter and Lois Griffin. Alex is so much Peter Griffin.
That's what Crook says too. That's
Yeah.
what Crook says too.
Yes. He's like a mix between Peter Griffin and what's it, Kevin James.
Kevin James. Yeah, I can see Kevin James.
Kevin James is the white
Yeah.
version of Alex.
I'm right here.
And he says it all the time, which is something that Kevin James would say. They've never been in the room at the same time. It's just
Kevin James. I like that. I like that.
Right here.
Put that on the t-shirt. All right, Gina, bring us on. What you got, babe?
I would say when you said Modern Family, that made me think of the gay couple, and
That's all you gotta say. You know who they are. You know who they are. Everybody loves them.
I really
I
love
love them.
Also Harriet and Carl.
Yeah.
And then I would say, what was her name? It was off of A Different World.
Dwayne.
Yeah.
And Whitley.
Yes, Whitley. Thank you.
Dwayne and Whitley.
Yeah.
The wedding scene.
Yes, of course. We would have to say the Cosbys. I would have to say that.
You know, I will say this before we get ready to close this show out because I'm a little disappointed, Gina.
Why? Who did you?
How could you not say Susan and the plumber?
Mike.
Susan and Mike was from Desperate Housewives.
You know what? Like when Mike got shot.
Oh my God, my heart broke.
Man, that was some Game of Thrones like jumping the shark. Like, really, this happened?
Yes.
Carrie and Big from Sex and the City.
Oh, Sex and the City. I never seen Sex and the City.
I've never seen it either.
Oh man, you gotta watch Sex and the City, bro. You gotta watch Sex and the City.
Like a big Sex and the City and Desperate Housewives fan. Big Sex and the City and Desperate Housewives.
Yeah.
I've always said I was gonna watch
So when
it.
he didn't say Carrie and Mr. Big, I was like, I'm a little disappointed in you.
Yeah.
They were a toxic definition of toxic.
I know of them because that's a popular pop culture thing. Man, look, this has been an amazing show.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Eugene and Michelle, you guys have the final word.
Thank you for letting us come on. I really enjoyed it.
The type of husbands that actually want to listen to what we have to say.
Thank you guys. You guys are appreciated.
Thank you guys. All right, CT, you know the notes. Go ahead and hit them for us.
That's rap.
It's the top 1%.